Homicide questions on the MBE destroy more bar exam scores than almost any other criminal law topic, and it all comes down to one critical mistake. Candidates mix up the degrees at the worst possible moment, and that single error collapses their entire criminal law section. The MBE tests homicide under common law exclusively, so you must lock these distinctions in hard before exam day. First-degree murder requires premeditation and deliberation on top of malice aforethought. The defendant thought about it and planned it deliberately. Even a few seconds of reflection satisfies deliberation on most MBE fact patterns. Time barely matters here. Felony murder during an inherently dangerous felony, arson, robbery, burglary, kidnapping, automatically elevates the charge to first degree. Second-degree murder carries malice aforethought but without premeditation. The intent exists, but the planning does not. Watch for depraved heart murder. Conduct so reckless it shows extreme indifference to human life without any direct intent to kill. Drag racing through a crowded street or firing into an occupied building. Malice supplies itself entirely through the recklessness shown. Voluntary manslaughter starts as murder and drops down when the defendant acted under adequate provocation in sudden heat of passion. There must be no cooling off period. Catching a spouse in adultery is the classic MBE trigger for this charge. The MBE loves testing whether enough time passed for a reasonable person to cool down. If time passes, the charge stays murder. Involuntary manslaughter involves no intent to kill and no malice. Criminal negligence or an unlawful act simply causes death. A misdemeanor, a low-level felony, gross negligence behind the wheel. The mental state separates this from every charge above it. One rule locks the entire framework together. Intent determines the degree every single time without exception. Read every homicide fact pattern by identifying the mental state first. The charge follows automatically once you do that. At Red Remember and Recall, we train your brain to remember every homicide rule and every mental state distinction when it matters most. Start your 7-day free trial today and walk into the exam with total confidence on every homicide question you face.